Welcome to Day 2, the Universe and its Origins, Stars and Galaxies virtual unit part of the lesson plan. I'm excited to teach you about the stars, the universe, and galaxies today. Check out some space words. I'm sure that you're familiar with many of them. Go ahead and read down the list and jot down in a mental note in your head what words you already know what they mean, and think about ones that you'd like to learn about. Throughout history, people have looked to the sky and wondered, what is out there? In the past, they've used their eyes, but over time, they are made to see that there are components that make up the universe. Those components include planets, our sun and moon, meteorites, and comets. The development of the telescope in the 16th century allowed earthbound astronomers to see objects in the sky with much greater precision than ever before. Here's a picture of our solar system. When you look up into the sky, you will see countless specks of light. Later, you will notice that these specks have moved to a different spot. From this, we can conclude that the sphere rotates, carrying with it fixed patterns of stars. Eris is the largest of the dwarf planet in the solar system and is the largest object found in orbit around the Sun since the discovery of Neptune and its moon Triton in 1846. It has a diameter between 2,400 and 3,000 kilometers and is 27% more massive than Pluto. Galaxies. Will the universe expand forever? Or will the force of the gravity cause the galaxies to come rushing back in a big crunch? The answer, of course, depends on the mass of the universe. Too little, gravity's effect is so small that it will expand forever. Too big, and the universe will stop and end in a big crunch. Just right, and the universe will slow down and stop. A galaxy is a massively gravitationally bound system that consists of stars and stellar remnants and an interstellar medium of gas and dust. Historically, galaxies have been categorized according to their apparent shape. There are 3 different shapes. The first is spiral. The second is elliptical. And the third is irregular. The Big Bang Theory assumes that about 12 million years ago, a very condensed form of matter exploded, causing matter to travel rapidly outward. What do you believe in? How do we know the universe is expanding? Well, we can tell this from the Doppler effect. When a train/plane/car whizzes past, the sound they make changes from high to low pitch. This can be observed in fast-moving light sources such as stars and galaxies. Waves can only move so fast. How fast they move depends on the type of wave and the medium through which they move. For any given set of conditions, the waves will move at a constant speed. Given this, if either the wave source or observer is moving with respect to the other, then the observer will perceive the wavelength of the waves changing depending on their respective positions. If the wave source is approaching the observer, then he will perceive the wavelength as being compressed. If the source is moving away, then he will perceive the wavelength as being stretched out. This change in wavelength would result in a change in pitch in a case of sound waves and a change in color in a case of light. So, when a star is moving towards us, the light from the star is a higher frequency than expected. It moves into the violet frequencies, often known as a violet shift. When a star is moving away, the light from the star is at a lower frequency than usual. It moves into the redder frequencies, called a redshift. Our Sun. Like all other planets in our solar system, the Earth revolves around a medium-sized star. This star provides all energy necessary to sustain life on Earth. So our Sun, in conclusion, is a star. It's unique in our universe, and its most common middle-sized yellow star, which scientists have named Sol. That is why our system of planets is called the solar system. There are trillions of other stars in the universe just like it. Many of these stars have their own system of planets, moons, asteroids, and comets. They are all unique and individual. So what is a star? Stars are gaseous objects in a space that give off light and heat. They are mainly made of hydrogen and helium. The enormous size of a star creates huge gravitational forces which squeezes the atoms of gases together and creates immense pressure and heat. In the core of the sun, hydrogen nuclei fuse and release energy called nuclear fusion. There are many different types of stars, and it depends on their stage in life. Constellations. There are 88 recognized constellations in our solar system. People of many cultures have given them names, and astronomers use ancient Greek names sometimes for classifications. Light from stars. Some stars appear brighter than others, and they are not all the same color. The color and brightness of a star can be used to determine its size and life expectancy. Astronomers are able to estimate the surface temperature of a star by measuring the wavelength of the light given off. The hottest stars are white to blue, while the coolest stars are red. Typically, you think of white and blue as a cool color and red as a hot color, but it's the complete opposite, almost the same as a fire. The amount of light given off, which is the brightness by a star, is determined by the size or the mass of the star. There are 3 different types of stars here that we're going to talk about. The first is a protostar, which is a baby star, and it's the earliest observable stage of formation of a star. There are dwarf stars. The sun is a dwarf star, and throughout their lives, stars go through many phases of expansion and contraction. There are brown dwarfs, white dwarfs, and black dwarfs. Then there are supergiants. They are giant stars that have luminosities reaching 1,000 times that of the sun and are up to 200 times as wide. The largest stars are called supergiants. The biggest ever found is 10 million times as bright as the sun. That is really bright. Birth and the death of stars. The stars we see at night have not always been there. Stars are born and die all the time. In fact, some of the stars we see may already be dead, which is really crazy to think, but when you think about how time and travel, it all makes sense. There's a diagram here that shows the life cycle of a star. Go ahead and check it out. Star birth and more revealed with the Milky Way. Tomorrow, you're going to read some more about an article in the Milky Way, and then you're going to fill out the REAP handout and chart. I hope you enjoyed this PowerPoint presentation, and have a great rest of the day. Don't forget to fill out your learning activity at the end of this lesson.